Welcome to Gap Gab, episode number 1. Keith Lowhorn, president of Gap. So happy to have you. Hey, why don't you just tell me a little bit about what Gap stands for and the mission of Gap?
GAP stands for Grandparents as Parents. It's a homegrown organization that we founded. We got the 501c3 last year. We've been in operation probably about 5 years in helping grandparents. And we do it in a variety of ways because there's no one else that offers any help. And that's what happened when we were suddenly given our 2 grandchildren, both born addicted to opioids. And we looked out for help, and we couldn't find any. So we just I started reaching out to friends that I knew from my former when I worked, and it just started. It started on a whim, and it's just grown dramatically since those first days.
The mission of Gap, you kind of have threefold mission: compassionate advocacy, vital resources, and emotional support. Could you maybe address those 3 pillars, and let's talk about why they're so important?
Yeah, absolutely. The advocacy part is so important because grandparents have nowhere else to turn. They think they're in this alone. Most grandparents that we reach out to us say, "Hey, am I the only one? Why is there nobody helping anything?" And that's the main reason, is because they need somebody to talk to. They need somebody to lean on. They need somebody to be able to help them walk through the system that they know virtually nothing about. The vital resources, we have lists of resources that we can that we either have or we can reach out to. We get the people to reach out to that will help them in any way that we possibly can. And the emotional support is so important. It's so important because our grandparents sometimes are overwhelmed. They're in a new era of parenting 2.0, and it's a different from when we were raised and we raised our children. And now that we're raising our grandchildren, it's just a different world all the way around, from the way kids act, the technical stuff that's the internet on there and phones and all this stuff that, we didn't have to really deal with when our kids were growing up. And so it's just that vital need that they need somebody just to talk to sometimes, just somebody that they can cry with, somebody that they can talk to, somebody that they can, "Hey, what do I do here? How do I do it? Can you help me? Will you go with me?" And that type of stuff. So it's something that's needed, and it's our life now.
What really motivates you to keep going every day?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question. It's Kyron, who's 11, and Harper, who's 8. And we've raised them. We have adopted them. They've been adopted for about 5 years. Kyron came from, we tried to get him when he was born in the NICU with a plethora of drugs in his system. And it was decided that by DHR that they needed to go back to their biologicals, who either lived in a drug hotel or lived on the street or in a park bench, wherever they could find a place. And, that's no place for a baby who's slowly coming out from addiction. So they're our main motivation. They're the ones that keep us up, keep us alive, and either they're going to kill us or, make us younger. I don't know which one it is.
That's exactly right. I'm sure it's going to make you younger. Absolutely. Hey, I'm sure after hearing your story and I'm hearing about the mission of Gap, people probably would have some questions. So gapalabama.org is your website with lots of resources, correct?
Absolutely. There are resources that are on the page that we know about. There's yet a lot of resources that aren't official. We just kind of know, and we kind of, so you can go talk to this person, you can go talk to that person for whatever they may need. But we've listed quite a few on our website, and how to reach out to us. Our phone number is 256-698-2297. And my email is Keith, Keith, at GAP, Alabama, spelled out, .org. And you can reach me, and you can call me. There's not a day goes by that I'm not answering the phone from 5 or 10 grandparents asking questions or needing help with something. So it's okay. We accept calls.